Hi, all. It's me, Bunker, your national coordinator with your favorite constitutionalist group, the 2 Million Bikers. And sorry about being about 10 minutes late. A lot of things to do these days. This week's video, I want to talk a little bit about the coronavirus. This is going to be one of those videos that should go viral, but I don't think it will be, just for the simple fact is I can't share it nowhere, okay? Facebook has got me on a 1-month jail. I can only post on my own pages. So anybody, any other pages that it gets posted on has to be by somebody else. So anyway, I'm going to go on with this video. As I said, it should be viral because it's going to be some of the common sense stuff. First of all, I want to talk about the coronavirus. There's a lot of scared people out there, and there is some silly things happening. Hi, Wayne. And hi to Danny. Good to see you here. Okay, now, the first thing that I saw, which really ticked me off, and I saw it, unfortunately, on the news, I didn't see it in person, was that, hi, Kathy, was that there was an old Chinese guy that, made a living by, picking up cans and bottles and stuff like that. And this was in San Francisco area. And hi, Rochelle. And here's the deal, he was beaten, his stuff was taken from him, there's a lot of harassment going on, and the poor old man was crying, and they were mocking fun of him. And the first thing that I'm going to tell you is that all you people out there that are 3%ers and all you people out there that are my bikers and everybody else that took an oath, for the Constitution and stand for God and country, you guys ought to be on the lookout for this stuff. If you want to be the leaders in the states, you got to take leadership, okay? Not just sit there and hammer on your keyboards or maybe collect donations, when there is some kind of disaster going on, okay? You people, you got to take the leadership. You got to take it and stand up for it, because I'm going to tell you, if I was there and I saw that, I would stop my motorcycle right there in the middle of the road, jump off of it, and there would be some reciprocation, okay? Yeah, there's a lot of scared people with the coronavirus, but I'm telling you what, are we going to punish people because they got sick? I don't think so. So in this video, I'm going to try to, bring to light the way that things really, really are. I think I'm qualified to do that because I was in the military. I was a chemical, biological, and radiological warfare specialist. So I think I know things about biological, which a virus is. So I'm going to try to make some common sense for people out there. And that's why this video probably should go viral, because the more people that know, the better off we are. Okay? So let's talk about the coronavirus in general. I see a lot of postings. I see a lot of people scared. I see a lot of controversy on different stuff that people are posting. I see a lot of conspiracies, and, it's like everybody has their own idea, but I also see this video of somebody taking a can and turning it around and says, it disinfects coronavirus. And they're like, oh my God, they knew about this for a long time. Well, first, let me define it, okay? Coronavirus is any type of flu virus, okay? It was true with the bird flu. It was true of any other flu. It's all coronavirus. It's all the same family a virus. It's just that it is, it's just twisted. It just evolves. It is manipulated. It is a different form, okay? So let's talk about viruses in general. All viruses are going to be spread the same way. So any flu virus, which corona is, would be spread the same way as the flu, okay? So we believe, and my sources say, and all the stuff that we've looked up into, says that it was developed in that lab that we believe was going to be used for biological warfare in Luoyang, China, okay? But that country is so poor, and here's another reason why we should evade communism, okay? Because the socialist government is going to run out of money. So what they do is they try to recycle as much stuff as possible for financial purposes. So what they did was they took all their test sources, which happens to be animals, and they sent them down to the local market. Well, we got reports that we believed that was coming from that market to very begin with. Okay, so they get paid for this stuff that they deliver down there, and then it gets consumed by humans. So we believe that this is where the transfer to humans took place. So now that being said, China has suffered the biggest because it leaked out of their lab. Other people were eating. There was no protection. There was no known. It has the same symptoms as a regular flu. It was spread. Now they got big problems, okay? Now, if you look at the news, the reports that we're coming across, and you look at the countries and the numbers, okay, we have the least out of the infected people. And the reason we have the least out of the infected people was because, remember when Trump wanted to stop the flights and he wanted to stop people coming in, and he was being called a racist, a misogynist. He's being called all these names, but it's like any other communicable disease, okay? The more people that are running around with it, the more it's going to spread, okay? So actually, he probably saved lives, okay? Whether you agree with the president or not, this is the truth, okay? This is one more reason why we shouldn't have open borders, because if you look at the numbers in Europe, because of all the open borders, because it's all European Union and they're free to go to and fro, you look at how much they have and the numbers are staggering, okay? Good morning, Dan. Good morning, Lana. Okay, so those numbers are harder to manage because you have people going around that don't even know that they got it, because just like the regular flu, okay, you can be affected with the flu and not be showing any harsh symptoms or anything like that. Now, I want to tell you one other thing. If you notice, in the United States, there's only been one death, okay? And it was probably a self-treatment thing that they thought was just that they had the flu, okay? Or if you have respiratory ailments or anything like that, it's going to worsen it. So that being said, you see this run in the stores of all these masks and everything else, and I'm going to tell you, it's not going to make much of a difference. You're going to have to use, hi Dawn, you're going to have to use common sense when you go out there and you deal with this stuff, okay? Now, if you think about virus contamination, think of contamination, think it was like shit, okay? And you don't want to be smearing shit all over. You don't want to get it on your face. You don't want to get it in your mouth. You don't want to get it any way like that, okay? So, here's what you do. First of all, you avoid being around large public places. You avoid being around a lot of people, because that is a potential spreading place, okay? So, here is the other thing to consider when you're dealing with a bunch of people, okay? You go out to the market, you go somewhere, somebody coughs in their hand or whatever, and they're going through the vegetables looking for the good ones. You can't blame them for that. We all do that. We want quality food because it's going in our bodies. Unfortunately, the contamination is on their hands too. So imagine they're picking up these stuff and looking at them and going through it, and you're the next person that comes through and you start picking them up and everything else. Remember the thought of shit contamination. Okay, now it's on your hands. What do you do? Well, instead of scratching your face or, cleaning your teeth out because you just ate at the restaurant next door or anything like that, you keep your hands away. Okay, you're going to have to go clean it. In fact, I would just recommend that you carry a little thing of wipes, or maybe some alcohol prep pads, and keep them clean afterwards. Maybe some regular disinfectant hand cleaner. Hi, Sherry. And do that, okay? Now, unless you get sneezed on or choked on directly, you're not going to get the aerosol in the air, and you're not going to inhale it, okay? So remember, it's just everything that you touch, okay? So I went out to eat the other day, and we got Chinese food, and I'm not going to blame a culture, but, we know that there's more cases where the stuff originated. Common sense, right? Okay, so, there's Chinese people that are going to be going in and out. And when you handle public things like the door handle and stuff like that everybody else is, guess what? Think about contamination, okay? Wash them hands. Okay, so this is the kind of stuff that you're going to have to think about, that you're going to have to be able to get through, okay? And this is what's going to keep the spread from the United States. Okay, so like I said, common sense is going to prevail, but you got to be conscientious of it, and that's the key. So the thing is that we are Americans, okay? We are much better than, I don't want to say shithole, okay, because we all know where that led to, but the third-rated world countries, okay, we're smarter, we got more developed stuff, we got better medical, we got so much more, and these are the things that they take for granted. So don't let them change that medical to something crappier where your treatment's going to get limited, okay? This is the kind of stuff that's going to come down the road. It's going to bite you in the ass if you're going to vote for all that free stuff, that they got to spread all that money about all those people, okay? This is the kind of stuff that points out the importance of it, okay? So all that being said, we don't want the open borders. We don't want the free flow of people. We want to know who's coming in. We want to know when we have a huge epidemic that these people are going to be tested, and we're going to monitor who's coming in, and when we know that something's going on. Look how light the United States had it during the Ebola thing, okay? Remember? And people were coming to and from, and that's how it was getting spread. As a matter of fact, I believe that I read in the Bible about, people going to and fro, okay? Well, to and fro means the travel and everything else. It talks about the end days, and it talks about all these diseases and everything else. So here's the thing. We got to keep our wits. Those people that you think that are part of an elite group, are part of a 3% group, and you believe that you took an oath and you stand for America, it's time to start standing, brothers, okay? It's time to start standing up and taking leadership. And so I'm going to end this thing by telling everybody it's going to have to take common sense. You don't need a respirator. Chances are you're going to be touching shit around your respirator and face, and you're going to spread contamination if it's on your hands, okay? If you had shit on your hands and you start moving things around your face, you're bound to get shit on your face, right? So this is how you think of contamination, and contamination is going to be the actual virus itself, okay? Now, we also know that viruses cannot live long outside of a host, okay? When you're talking about normal temperatures and everything else, eventually when they're sitting there on something that's contaminated, they're going to die. But the problem with this particular virus is it is a little bit more persistent, which means that it's going to hang around a little bit longer. So if you're talking about something that you're going to be touching days after that, came to your house, like goods from China or something like that, chances are you're not going to get nothing at all, okay? Because it takes so damn long to get over here. But when you're talking about, handling a doorway that 20 million people is going through, or you're talking about going through the vegetables and stuff at the vegetable store, and, you're going to have to wash your hands after, because it could have been minutes, it could have been a couple hours. Okay, also, here's the other thing to think of. You know, when you get those fruits and vegetables home, wash them all. You should be doing that anyway because all the pesticides and spray and everything else that the farmers use, you want to get all that nasty stuff off. So, when you go out there and you touch stuff and you think if public people are touching this stuff, wash your hands, okay? If you are going to be amongst crowds, try to stay off to your own so that you know you're not going to get coughed on or sneezed on or something like that, because that's the only way you're going to get it. If you are in a place, let's call it a buffet, okay? Bad idea. You go to a buffet, yeah, they got the sneeze screens there, but you know, people are coughing and sneezing and everything else, and that's the food you're going to dig out and eat. So my recommendation is don't go to those places until after all this stuff is over and cleared. We're probably going to see a reduction in warmer weather because A, you know, it's not good for the virus's life, and B, you're going to see more people that are not concentrated into buildings, okay? So remember, when you're concentrated in a plane, you're concentrated in a ship, you're concentrated in a building with a lot of public, these are potential spreading places, so keep that in mind. I'm using all my experience on, you know, contamination and biological warfare, which is viruses and everything else. Don't be a human vector, okay, and carry the disease to other people. So, and don't bite anybody, okay? So all that being said, I'm going to leave you with these thoughts, and let's get people out there informed and not panicked, okay? And so please, I can't do it. I can't spread this on Facebook. It's just screwing the hell out of me, and I can't share anywhere. But make this thing go viral because I believe this is information that the general public is not getting. And so I thank you for all you guys do. You know I love you. God bless you all. I'm looking out for you. Bunker out.